Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me again for another video. This is Charmaine and this platform is Charmaine Speaks MPD, where we discuss all things related to narcissistic personality disorder. And I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who is subscribed, both new and the people that have been rocking with me since the first video. So massive shout out to you guys. Thanks so much for subscribing. If you've not subscribed, I do welcome you to hit the subscribe button because we've got a lot of content to discuss. And also really appreciate you supporting the content, with the thumbs ups, with the comments, sharing your stories, sharing your experiences. We're really building a community here and I just love it. So a massive shout out to you guys. And as always, if you do find the content valuable, then please do hit the like button because it helps me to get this content in front of other eyes and ears, and obviously helps us to grow our community here. So pay it forward, guys. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. So today we are going to be discussing the narcissist karma. And I'm going to use this video to attempt to answer the question, which is a hot question, something that I've heard a lot in this community, outside of this community, and not just pertaining to narcissistic personality disorder or narcissistic abuse, but to a whole bunch of situations. So the question is, will the narcissist get their karma? And the answer is yes and no. So I'm going to walk through this answer. I'm going to walk through the question, I'm going to walk through the answer and attempt to answer this for you. So let's get into the video. So I think we'll start by maybe having a little bit of a intro about what karma actually is, because I know that people have different beliefs, different perceptions, and you'll understand why I use the word perception a little bit later in the video, excuse me. And I guess different ideas about how karma looks and how it might show up. To go back to the more, I guess, classical or original type of definition, karma is not just about receiving what you put out there in terms of the way you behave, your actions, the way you treat people, but it's also about your intentions as well. So it's about approaching, how you approach whatever you might do. So it might be a relationship, it might be work, it might be some other activity that you do. I mean, it could be absolutely anything, but it's also about the intention, okay, behind it. So it's about the thought, the intention, the action, the behavior, and then obviously the reciprocity, the returned energy, the returned action, coming back to you in hopefully a good way. Obviously, sometimes it can look disfavorable, right? So it just depends how you move, how you are set up as a person, your heart, your intentions, what it is you truly want to put out there in the world, what kind of character you've got. But karma doesn't always show up as something that is visible, something that is staged, something that is like a physical manifestation that everybody can see, everybody gets to witness, that plays out as you might think. It's not always kind of an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth. It's not, okay, if you behave in this way or if you do this, you're going to get exactly the same thing back. Often karma can be quite subtle, so it can show up as something that is not witnessed, is not like a physical manifestation. It can show up in a more subtle form, and it might not be what you think or indeed what you want, right? Excuse me. It's also said that karma might not even show up on your watch or my watch, not in this realm, in this physical world, in this lifetime. Some people believe that it will come later. it will come in the next life. You know, if you believe in reincarnation, then that might be something that you hold close to your heart as well. That might be something that you believe in. So this is more of the original, I guess, classical definition of what karma is. Subtle, might show up in the next life, might not look exactly how you want, might not be exactly what you thought. So, and as I said, big emphasis on intention. So for us people that have been in a narcissistic relationship, who have been at the receiving end of this atrocious, insidious, despicable treatment from these types of people, and as you have probably already guessed, if you don't already know, I too am a survivor of narcissistic abuse, and you know, there's many people that have been in romantic relationships that watch this kind of content, or indeed are subscribers of my channel. It might be that you've had narcissistic friends. It might be that you've had siblings or parents, or you've had brief or you know, many years of an encounter of somebody at your job, co-workers, a boss. But we all kind of share something in common. We've all been on the receiving end of this type of abuse, of this type of personality, you know. And obviously, as we know, this type of abuse, this type of treatment can cause a lot of damage. You know, it can be so destructive. It can leave lasting damage. It can be, you know, emotionally, mentally, physically destructive. And, you know, just depending on the individual situation, there can be a very long process of healing, and a lot of kind of work to do there to move forward and to get over what's happened. So as a survivor myself, I do understand that feeling. I won't lie to you. I do understand. I'm human too, you know. I'm not going to lie to you. I've definitely thought, okay, when is this person going to get theirs? You know, when is this person's behavior and treatment going to be, you know, going to bite them in the behind, basically, right? When is this person going to write this check that they can't cash, and it's going to come round on them like a boomerang, full force, in the back of the head, right? Obviously, metaphorically, because, you know, I just don't wish any harm on anybody. But, you know, metaphorically speaking, you, as a good person with good intentions, and somebody who, you know, you approach situations with the best thought and the best intention for people, being on the receiving end of this type of abuse is, it can get you in that kind of feeling. You know, when is the universe going to restore this balance of justice? Okay, because that's, you know, innately that's what we want as good people. We want to see justice, right? We want to see people being treated fairly, people being treated good, and there should be some kind of justice, retribution, you know, some kind of restoring of fairness here, because we as good people, we think that everybody should treat each other as we want to be treated, right? So I do understand this feeling. And it's not just, I guess, with narcissists, you know, it's not just narcissistic relationships. It could be, you know, we hear about it on the news all the time, people who commit these mass atrocities, people who commit really, really damaging, violent, criminal behavior, you know, people who are essentially taking people out, you know, and just doing all these really bad things. And as I said, as good people, we have this sense of, okay, when will justice be served? So you know, it pertains to a whole lot of different situations, right? Okay, so when we're talking about justice, it's I think it's a completely human emotion to think about, okay, when is justice going to be served here? I think when it becomes unhealthy is when we become stuck in that feeling, right? In that desire for this retribution, for this karma to be served. Because all that does is it has us stuck in this, I guess, in this reality where we feel like, or we can feel like, okay, this person has done me wrong, this person has done X, Y, Z, and I can deal with this, I can get over it, but I need them to feel some heat, right? I need them to get what they deserve. I can deal with it then, as long as I see retribution or revenge or karma being served. And that's when you get into dangerous territory, because what that does is it holds you back from healing. It has you stuck in this reality of, or I guess, it's stuck in your own head almost, you know, in a way that, okay, well, I'm still kind of living my life as a part of this person, right? They're still very much in mind, they're still very much in heart. And that doesn't, you know, that doesn't help you to move on. That doesn't help you to heal. That doesn't help you to get over this and to let go. And it's almost like this person's still got power over you, still got control over you, you know? And they're still very much taking up mental real estate, you know, living in your head rent free. And you don't want that. You want to get to a point where you're so healed and you have let go. And forgiveness might come a little bit later, but you need to get to a point, you know, we all have to, I mean, I had to, okay? For the sake of us healing, we have to get to a point where we don't even care what the narcissist is doing. We don't even care what the narcissist is going through. It's just complete and total indifference. That's when we're in our safe zone. That's when we've got our victory. That's our true victory, is when we are just completely indifferent. We don't care about what's going on with the narcissist, because that's not even in our remit. That's not even in our world, you know? Whether they're doing good, great. Whether they're doing bad, terrible. It's got nothing to do with us, and we're not even bothered. We're too busy enjoying our own blessings. We're too busy, you know, living our own achievements and, you know, enjoying our happiness, you know, harvesting our fruits. And we don't care too much about what's going on over there. So that's what we need to get to. And doesn't mean to say that, you know, you've not been done wrong by, you've not been treated badly, and there's no minimizing of any of that. But it's about you taking control of your own mind, your own emotions, and your own outlook, you know, and living life on your terms, basically. So I think that is that's something to keep in mind when we're thinking about the narcissist karma. And the fact is, not everybody gets their karma. Like I say, some karma might, you know, come back around in the next life. It might not even be on our watch. And the world isn't fair, you know, unfortunately. The world is not fair, and the world doesn't have, you know, somebody taking checks and balances for people who have done good or who have done bad. Unfortunately, some people don't ever get their karma, and some people go around, you know, treating people really, really badly. And they seem to come out smelling of roses, you know. The narcissist in your life might have left, you know, behind loads of chaos, confusion and destruction, and gone on to have, you know, a beautiful relationship, or what seems like a beautiful relationship, made loads of money, you know, be revered in the community, have this, you know, really high status, and have people kind of looking up to them like they're some kind of god. It might look that way, you know, it might be that way, and you might feel like, well, this person has just gone around doing whatever they want, treating people however they want, and there's been no repercussion for them. And that's not fair. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes life isn't fair. And that's just a fact. And that's why we focus on our own stuff, focus on our own journey, because that's what we can control, right? So that's what the best thing to do is. So I just wanted to end the video with the answer that I gave in the beginning. So no, the narcissist won't always get their karma. But yes, they kind of do. They kind of do. A narcissist karma is built in. A narcissist has to live their life being them, being this narcissist. And that type of existence, to be perpetually dissatisfied, to never ever be happy, to never feel like anything is enough. A narcissist could have 10 gold bars, 5 wives or husbands, you know, whatever they might want. Maybe they just want one, but you know, a narcissist, there's never just one. So 5 partners, 10 gold bars, a table full of food in front of them every day, as much material things as they want, holidays 5 times a year to tropical places, 1 car for every day of the week, attention, adoration. It's never, ever going to be enough. It's never going to be enough for a narcissist. They're never happy. They're never satisfied. They always have to have more. They always have to drain more energy, more supply out of people. They always have to put somebody down to make themselves feel better. They always have to project their negative emotional baggage onto somebody else because they can't manage it. They can't work through it to a positive outcome. It's never enough. They could have everything they ever asked for, ever dreamed of in the world. They're still not going to be satisfied. What kind of existence is that? So when people ask, or when people talk about, you know, bring up this discussion, will the narcissist ever get their karma? They do. They have their karma built into them every single day. And this can be seen as a question of probability as well. When you go round treating people like garbage, like objects, treating people inhumanely, you know, demoralizing people, using people, abusing people, chances are, and this is probability, you know, numbers game, you're going to lose a lot of people. It's going to get to a point where you run out of people to use and abuse, you know. You run out of people and people don't want to be around you anymore. You become lonelier and lonelier. And in the end, you don't really have anybody. And this is why I say the narcissist karma is built in, because, you know, it's very common for narcissists to get into their old age and not really have many people around them. And sometimes they do, but sometimes it's out of duty, you know, and there's a lot of resentment there. So these narcissists live this existence whereby their karma is built in because they can never be happy or satisfied. They never experience true love. You know, they don't know what it's like to love somebody truly, you know, authentically. And they don't know how to receive love either. So that perception piece is, I guess, how you view karma, you know, and how you picture the way karma can and is playing out for this narcissist, which is always waiting around the corner, to be honest, you know. So just wanted to touch on that. And I think that, like I say, the most important thing is not getting hung up on whether this narcissist is going to get their karma, because we already know what kind of existence they live, and the satisfaction that we can feel is that we are out of it, you know, or we're making steps to get out of it, or we have an understanding about what's happening to us and who this person is, and we can use tools and methods and our own education to be able to deal with these types of people to an extent where they have minimal effect on us, on our lives, on our emotions, on our mental health, you know? So, yeah. I just wanted to touch on this video. I thought it was a great question to discuss, and please do leave your comments, leave your thoughts about what you think about karma itself, or, you know, whether you feel like the narcissist has got their karma, whether you think the narcissist will receive their karma. Let me know what you think. I think it's an interesting question, and yeah, just to finish up, just to say, I wish everybody healing, health, and happiness, and the feeling of indifference towards the narcissist that has been or is in your life. So I'll leave the video there, guys. Until the next time, ciao for now.